What is going on, everybody? As you guys know, really soon on Saturday, we're gonna have a brand new Grow Garden event, and that event's gonna be called the cooking event. Everybody voted on it, and I think for the new event, I got a few things I want to tell you guys to prepare for it. But before I begin, I'm gonna read to you guys what I saw on the Discord. So, cooking event. A cookie pot is in the middle of the map. Add different fruits and vegetables to the pot to cook different quality foods. Discovering better recipes will satisfy the pig, who will give better rewards depending on the meal you have made him. This kind of reminds me of the bee event. If you guys remember, there was like a honeybee you have to constantly give fruits and vegetables to for better rewards. But this part was in addition to the bee event. I think the cookie pot one is going to be the main event. And I mean, basically a cookie pot appears in the middle of the map and you have to combine fruits and vegetables together to make food. And I guess the stronger the fruits and vegetables, the better the reward. So say for example, the pig tells you, I want a grape and elder strawberry. I'm going to assume based off that, you're going to get something really good. And I feel like if that recipe is actually really difficult to put together, you're probably going to get a rare seed or rare pet. So basically, the better the dish, the better the reward. Alright, so now I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to do until Saturday. You need to go to the seed shop and buy every single fruit and vegetable you can every single day. And also keep in mind, prismatic seeds are going to be really good for this event. Because like I said before, I think the harder the recipe, the better the reward. And most likely those are going to require like divine, mythical, prismatic, and so on. But even the less rare seeds are still valuable. So you should still get the strawberry, watermelon, apple, carrot, tomato, and so on. I just think you should buy every single seed in the seed shop. Like even for the carrots, I'm going to buy all of them at the same time. Like I think for this event, I might buy 1,000 carrots. Now I have a really good feeling weight is not going to matter because I've seen so many complaints about it that people hate the weight on the fruits. And I'm going to be honest, I understand why, because it could get pretty annoying. I think the developers have to understand that everybody has a lot of sprinklers. But to solve that problem, you might need a lot of godly sprinklers and basic sprinklers. Also, one thing I noticed in the past few days, there's been so many godly sprinklers in the gear shop. Like, am I the only one that noticed that? I feel like in the past 2 days, I've seen like 30 of them. But besides buying every single seed in the game, you're gonna need more space. I'm gonna be honest, if you have like exclusive seeds or limited seeds, I would like reclaim them. So if you want in the crafter, you could craft reclaimers and collect all those seeds back. Or if you don't want to reclaim them, you could like move them over in your garden. But I think it's gonna be better to collect them and plant more seeds from the seed shop, because I think right now the limit for that is 800. Or on the other hand, if you want, you could buy a second garden and do that instead. But that would mean you have to replant a bunch of more seeds. And also at the same time, make sure you extend your garden. And if you didn't know, you could extend your garden by buying it with shekels. But keep in mind, I think one of them you have to wait like 2 days or 1 day before you could do it again. So if I were you, I would go check right now if you could extend your entire garden, because I think the one that's opposite of the entrance has to wait 2 more days. So make sure you actually start that timer right now so you have time to buy it before the update. Alright, now we're going to talk about some pets. I think pets that make seeds grow faster are definitely going to be good for this. So I think for the first one, definitely use a triceratops. And basically every 3 minutes, it rams into 3 random plants and it advances their growth by 33 minutes. And there is a 50% chance it does it again. So the triceratops can be really good for plants that are like divine, mythical, and prismatic, because those seeds take really long to grow, especially the prismatics. Because for example, the other day I tried growing my elder strawberry and it took so long for that fruit to grow. Now there is another pet you could use if you don't have the triceratops, but I'm gonna be honest, getting this one is so much more rare. If you want, you could use the echo frog. Now the only way to get an echo frog is from the night egg, which is really old, but I think to get a triceratops is definitely way easier. But on the other hand, look at the echo frog, because it's still very good. Every 5 minutes it croaks and causes a random nearby plant to advance growth by 24 hours. And just like that, this passive ability is way stronger than the triceratops. But at the end of the day, if you want, you could use 2 to 3 triceratops to do the same thing. I'm gonna be honest, to this day I still have over 200 night eggs, maybe even more. And the main reason why I still have them, I haven't found the time to hatch them, because I feel like every single week we have a new event, I gotta focus on that one. Like for example, right now I have like 300 Zen eggs, and even with the Zen eggs, I don't think I'm ever gonna find the time to hatch them. And this next pet I think is gonna be a really big one. I think right now you should get some giant ants, because in my opinion, I think the giant ants is one of the best pets for every single event Grow Garden. If you really think about it, every single event use the giant ant, and I feel like at the moment by now there's so many giant ants in the game, so I feel like you might have no problem trading for it. And if you don't know, you could get the giant ant from the bug egg, and it's at a 25% chance it could happen pretty often. Literally the only reason why I open bug eggs is to get more giant ants, because I think right now I should have about 17 in total. Now this next pet is going to be really underrated because not many people use it, and the next one I'm going to use is going to be the snail. To get the snail, you have to get it through the bug egg, and it happens really commonly at a 30% chance. And basically extra 5% chance harvested plants drop seeds, and of course rare plants have a smaller chance to drop seeds. If you guys didn't know, every single time you collect a fruit, it gives you back a seed at a very low chance. And yes, this could happen with prismatic seeds, but it's so rare. But now with the snail, it'll give you a way better chance. So let's say for example, if your recipe wants grapes and you start harvesting your grapes, grapes. If you have, for example, like 5 snails, it might give you a bunch of grape seeds. So that is one way to get more seeds if you don't have that many. And trying to get like mythical, divine, or prismatic seeds from the shop is so rare. So having some snails is a really good idea. If you want also, you could use a combination of giant ants and snails. So 5 giant ants and 3 snails could be a decent idea. I mean, if you don't want to get snails, you could use 8 giant ants. Because I'm not gonna lie, during the harvest event, I got so many sugar apple seeds from the giant ants. Now, just in case these fruits need to be a certain weight, you could do something about it. The first thing you could do is by getting some moon cats. I know that could be a little bit difficult, but if you try to get some moon cats right now compared to Saturday, it's gonna be way easier and cheaper. Because let's say, for example, moon cats are actually really good for the event. On Sunday, they're gonna be super expensive. And I feel like in general, you should have a bunch of moon cats by now because they're really good for getting really big fruits and making a lot of money. So let's say, for example, you have like 4 to 5 moon cats, right? And as you guys know, when they go to sleep, their passive ability is triggered. And any fruit within that moon cat's rate is gonna be really big. So when they fall asleep, if you want, you could pick your fruit, and when they come back, they're gonna come back way bigger. And just like that, you could solve the problem of the weight on the fruit. But let's say, for example, you do not have moon cats, you have one more option. In the gear shop, whenever a sprinkler spawns, you have to buy it. I feel like every single time you see a basic, godly sprinkler, you should buy both of them, because these sprinklers will make the fruit a decent weight. Also, buy now, if you have some money, you should be buying some harvest tools, because the harvest tool is gonna help you collect so many fruits at once. Like for example, you have like 5 beanstalks, it'll help you collect the whole thing instantly. And I feel like most likely I'm gonna buy like 500 of them. Also, at the same time, I've heard some people saying that they might want mutations on the plants, but trying to figure that out might be a little bit tough. Like let's say, for example, you didn't play the Zen event, you're new to Grow Garden. Could you imagine if they want a corrupted blueberry? That'd be so impossible to get. I feel like after the Zen event ends, there's gonna be 3 ways to get that mutation. Okay, definitely the first one's gonna be the corrupt spray, and most likely that was gonna be the most common way. And then I believe the second one's gonna be the corrupt shard, but getting the corrupt shard is so rare right now. And the third one is by getting a pet mutation with the pet machine, and doing it that way is gonna take so long because getting level 50 takes forever. So unless you have a bunch of blood owls and cappies, getting the spray is gonna be so much easier. But if you didn't play the event, you're not gonna have the spray. I guess the only way to get is gonna be the pet mutation machine. So hopefully the fruits do not need mutations or weight, because so many people are gonna be mad about that. I mean, me personally, I don't really mind it. I'm gonna do it either way, but I think the weight is kind of annoying just a little bit. I mean, if they want, they can leave the weight, but they have to lower the requirement. So instead of having a 15-kilogram watermelon, make it 10, because not everybody's gonna have like an infinite amount of sprinklers, like godly sprinklers or basic sprinklers. Oh, and that's why before I forget, we're gonna have trading. If you guys want some leverage when trading, try to get a bunch of corrupted kitsunes. And yes, I know it's gonna be really difficult, but at least try to get some, because I'm pretty sure later on you could definitely get a better pet for it. So if you have like 2 to 3 extra ones, definitely save them. But yeah, but for the most part, that's all I look out for today. I'm definitely gonna go trade for some more pets, and you should too. But if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.